All right, let's talk about job interviews. We all know that can be one of the most critical moments in your career. It's really your one shot to prove you're the perfect person for the job. But here's the problem. It is so easy to make one tiny mistake that could cost you the entire opportunity, even if you're the most qualified person in the room. In this breakdown, we're going to unpack these fatal mistakes so you can walk into your next interview with total confidence.
It certainly feels like your destiny is on the line, doesn't it? Our sources actually describe these interviews as fateful moments that really do shape your future. The pressure is huge, and that pressure is exactly what causes people to make small, seemingly simple mistakes.
Some mistakes are so bad they get you disqualified on the spot, no matter how strong your resume is. This is your guide to identifying and avoiding those career-ending blunders.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with the psychology of that fateful moment, then pinpoint the preparation mistakes that sink you before you even begin. We'll navigate common communication traps, learn how to answer those dreaded tough questions, decode what your body language is secretly saying, and finally, master the art of sticking the landing.
You've heard it 1,000 times, and there's a good reason for it. First impressions are everything. Hiring managers often make a subconscious judgment in the first few minutes based on signals you're giving off before you even answer a single question. Your confidence, your handshake, the way you sit, it all sets the tone for the entire conversation.
And that brings us to the first place where things go wrong, your preparation. So many interviews are lost before the candidate even walks into the room. These mistakes signal a lack of seriousness, a disrespect for the opportunity, and worst of all, they're completely avoidable.
Let's break these down, because they are absolute disasters. Arriving late is the cardinal sin. It just screams unreliable and disrespectful. Not knowing the basics about the company? That shows you're not genuinely interested. And not having questions ready to ask at the end? That signals a complete lack of curiosity and engagement. Every single one of these is a huge red flag.
And this slide just perfectly captures two totally different worlds. On one hand, you have the prepared professional. They've done their research, they arrive early, and they can connect their skills directly to the job. On the other hand, you have the unprepared candidate who's stumbling over their answers and creating an awkward, memorable interview for all the wrong reasons. You know which one you want to be.
Okay, so you're prepared, you're on time, and you're in the room. Now the real test begins, what you say and how you say it. Remember, your qualifications got you the interview, but your communication skills are what will get you the job. Let's look at the most common traps people fall into.
Rule number one here is absolute professionalism. The biggest red flag for any recruiter is hearing you speak badly about a former employer. It immediately makes them think, is this what they'll say about us one day? Also, watch out for arrogance that's disguised as confidence, and be absolutely sure that what you say matches what you wrote on your resume.
And this quote right here explains exactly why this is so damaging. It's all about the interviewer's perspective. They're constantly thinking, if I hire this person, what am I adding to my team? Complaining suggests you might be difficult or immature, and that's a risk very few companies are willing to take.
We all dread those tough questions, the ones designed to put you on the spot. But here's the secret. The recruiter isn't looking for perfection. They're looking for honesty, self-awareness, and professional maturity. These questions aren't a trap. They're your single biggest opportunity to prove you have all three of those qualities.
This is a classic, and it's a total minefield if you left your last job on bad terms. The absolute key is to answer honestly, but without placing blame or sounding bitter.
Look at the difference. The negative answer is all about blaming someone else. The smart answer, though, is completely forward-looking. It reframes the bad experience as a search for a better fit, a professional, organized environment. That is what every employer wants to hear. It shows maturity, not bitterness.
And now for the most famous question in interview history. This isn't just a question, it's a direct test of your self-awareness. Saying, I don't have any weaknesses, is an instant fail. And so is the cliché answer, I'm a perfectionist. They have heard that 1,000,000 times.
This slide gives you the perfect formula. The smart answer does three things. First, it names a real weakness, but one that isn't critical for this particular job. Second, it shows you took proactive steps to fix it. And third, it ends on a positive note about what you've learned. This strategy turns a negative question into a powerful story about growth.
Now, let's shift to the silent conversation that's happening throughout the interview. Experts agree that your body language often speaks louder than your words. It reveals your true confidence level, your engagement, and your professionalism before you even say anything.
Simply put, body language is every nonverbal signal you send, from the way you sit to your eye contact.
These signals either reinforce your words with confidence or completely undermine them with doubt. These are the signals you have to avoid. Avoiding eye contact makes you seem untrustworthy. Crossing your arms makes you look closed off and defensive, and constant fidgeting just screams nervous. Every single one of these little movements sends a powerful negative message.
So what's the alternative? It's simpler than you think. Start with a firm handshake. Sit up straight to project energy. Maintain natural eye contact to build rapport. And use calm, open hand gestures to support your points. These small actions, when you put them together, project complete confidence and control.
You've made it through the toughest questions, but don't relax just yet. How you end the interview is just as important as how you start it. This is your last chance to seal the deal and leave a lasting positive impression.
And this is the final hurdle where so many candidates fall down. The interviewer asks, "So, do you have any questions for us?" After an hour of being grilled, it is so tempting to just say nope and get out of there. But this is a huge mistake.
This slide says it all. Never, ever say you don't have questions. Preparing thoughtful questions proves your genuine interest. It shows you are listening and that you're seriously picturing yourself in this role. Ask about the team's biggest challenges. Ask about opportunities for growth. Ask what success looks like in the first 90 days. This is your time to interview them too. At the end of the day, an interview isn't a test of perfection. It's a demonstration of professionalism. By avoiding these fatal mistakes, you're not just answering questions, you're telling a story about who you are and the value you bring. The only question left is, what story are you going to tell? Now go make it an unforgettable one.